Today on D&D Academia, we talk about one of the most helpful spells, Speak with Dead. You can find information on this spell in your textbook, The Player's Handbook. This is a third-level Necromancy spell, with a casting time of 1 action, a range of 10 feet, and a duration of 10 minutes. There is no attack or save. As for the damage or effect, it is considered a communication effect. It does require verbal, somatic, and material components. The recommended material is burning incense. But obviously, feel free to be creative if something has a better aesthetic feel. Perhaps a crystal ball, Ouija board, or even just a candle. With the spell, Speak with Dead, you grant the semblance of life and intelligence to a corpse of your choice within range, allowing it to answer the questions you pose. The corpse must still have a mouth and cannot be undead. The spell fails if the corpse was the target of this spell within the last 10 days. Now, as for having a mouth, I definitely think there are times where that shouldn't be a requirement. For instance, if a race speaks telepathically, or, for instance, if you run into someone who is mute and can only use sign language, which could be very interesting. Now, until the spell ends, you can ask the corpse up to 5 questions. The corpse knows only what it knew in life, including the languages it knew. Answers are usually brief, cryptic, or repetitive, and the corpse is under no compulsion to offer a truthful answer if you are hostile to it or it recognizes you as an enemy. This spell does not return the creature's soul to its body, only its animating spirit. Thus, the corpse can't learn new information, doesn't comprehend anything that has happened since it died, and cannot speculate about future events. Spells like Suggestion or Zone of Truth, or even skills like Intimidation won't work, as this is no longer a creature, it is now considered an object. Also, as the spell states, they are not actually there, they are just an echo of what they once were. However, there is a possibility of tricking the dead. If you have a party member that has shape-changing or voice-changing abilities, you could try to pretend to be someone else to get more information, even if the corpse was blind. You could also make things really interesting if your DM allows it. You could combine Speak with Dead with either the spells Speak with Animals or Speak with Plants. If you happen to run into a dead animal or a decaying log, that could come in handy. Most importantly, feel free to take liberties with how the spell works or looks. For instance, there is some dispute over whether or not the only one who can ask the questions is the caster. I personally think it could be anyone asking questions. In that same note, if anyone asks a question without realizing that the dead is hearing them, the question could be answered and be used up. As an example, if one of the party members happens to ask, "Is it working?" the corpse could answer back, "Yes." This may annoy some of your players, but can also be very entertaining for the dungeon master. Another question to keep in mind is based on movement. If the spell is stating that it has to have a mouth to be able to speak, then we can assume that the mouth is moving. Does the body have any other movement? Can it turn its head or move its eyes? Can it reach out and grab someone? And of course, if it is moving at all, is this causing any noise? Or is the body even falling apart now because of that movement? Speak with Dead is a very macabre spell, but it is also extremely helpful to wield. Now that you're more aware of it, is this something that will show up in your spell list? This has been D&D Academia's discussion on the spell Speak with Dead.